You got this shit knocking low.
Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is. It is July 7th, Tuesday. I hope everyone had a nice July 4th. A lot of the firework places were shut down. For good reason. Why can't we watch fireworks from where we are? Why do we all have to gather in a big group? Watch fireworks that we can see from miles and miles away. I like the space. I like not being around a whole bunch of people. Eating that stupid cooked corn with the red sauce and the whatever on it. It's hot. Can I just get a corn? Can I get a corn with just butter on it and salt, please? A knob of corn? I never understood going someplace and experiencing something with a bunch, besides like movies and sports. Maybe I'm biased in those opinions, but like seeing fireworks with a bunch of people doesn't make the fireworks show better. There's always idiots screaming woo, and I guess you get that same thing at sports events, but I don't know. Like you can still see the show from far away. We went, me and my family, my mother and my brother and my girlfriend. We went to Outback Steakhouse, and it was amazing. Nobody was there. I think we saw 2 people in the restaurant, which is sad for the restaurant, and I feel terrible for the restaurant, but amazing for me. And the service is unbelievable. Why? They only got 3 tables. But man, it was nice hanging out with them, listening to my mom and my girlfriend tell long, one-sided stories was amazing. My little brother falling asleep on the table, that was good. We ordered, and then the fireworks show started around 9 o'clock, so we went out. I think there's only 4 cities that still had fireworks, and then we just went out in the parking lot, We went out in the parking lot and just watched the show, and we came back in. Waiter opened the door for us, which was nice. He got a good $30 tip, really good waiter. And then the next morning we went, my mom wanted me to go into the hotel, the Days Inn Hotel, this crappy hotel. I'm like, oh, do you want to come in and hang out for a bit? I'm like, Ma, it's 11 o'clock. It's late. Go, and that place you got was filthy. And then she blamed me because she wanted me. Could you check out hotels around the area that are dog friendly, that are pet friendly? Mom, you have the same device in your pocket as I do. Well, I don't know how to you Google it. You Google. I don't have a special app on my phone that lets me do things that you can't. You have the same thing. And then also, you have my little brother. He can Google it too. He knows just about as much. He knows more about the internet than I know. He knows how to use Discord. I've never used Discord because I'm not a PC nerd. I play where real people play, on a console at home, on a underpowered console at home. That's what I do. Oh, there's some big video game news coming out. Oh, well, let me finish the story. So, yeah, then we go to brunch, and by brunch I mean lunch. My little brother sent me a text that said 11:30, and then 11:50. I get there at 11:53, and my mom complains, "Why weren't you here at 11:30?" I'm like, "Don't you guys are right next to each other. Don't you guys talk? You guys are right next to each other. Why am I getting misinformation from basically the same place, but there's just 2 different sources?" So I don't know. But it was nice seeing my mother and my little brother. Mostly my little brother. It was nice. It's always nice seeing him, even though he won't play video games with me anymore for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I suck. I'm not as good. It might be a reason. But there's a big sports news. I'm not going to do any of the sad news. There's a whole bunch of... I'm tired of talking about race relations and what white people can do, and not what white people can do. People can just not be racist, and that would fix the issue. But since that's impossible, apparently, throughout the course of history, we have to swing extreme one way and wipe out white history completely, which is in a way racist. I don't know. But Patrick Mahomes, speaking of a black person who is on the rise. It's on the rise here. He got apparently it's a $500 million contract, a 10-year, but he has 2 years remaining on his deal. So really it's a 12-year deal in total. It's a 10-year extension worth $500 million. But that's not worth $500 million. That's, in football, you hear those numbers and it's not really correct. He actually gets, I wrote it down. It's just $141 million is guaranteed, and that is for an injury. So if he gets injured and can't play, that's the only part that's guaranteed. Because people were comparing it to it's a baseball. Mike Trout, he got a 12-year, $425 something million deal, and that's not comparable because Mike Trout is getting all of that money. No matter if he doesn't play another game, if he gets injured and doesn't play another baseball game, he's getting $400 million for the rest of his life. So, but Patrick Mahomes isn't getting that. But that's all if you're there and the team wants you. And then in football, they can completely get rid of that deal. They can renegotiate it. There's a whole bunch of different ways, but it's good because this sets the, at least for the next few years, like in 4 years, he's going to renegotiate his deal. Do you know how long 4 years is in the NFL? Remember RG3 was the next big, not anywhere. Colin Kaepernick, oh my God, he's in the Super Bowl. He's going to, never seen from again. Backup quarterback. Then Cam Newton, NFL MVP, goes to the Super Bowl, next few years, gone. The reason, like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all of these football players, all of those guys are considered great is because of their longevity, because their ability to play and adapt. It's like, what was I going to say? I was going to bring up Tim Tebow and the one good year he had, and then people adjusted. Like the Wildcat offense, people were having issues with it. And then they're like, oh, okay. It's like the pick and roll when Tom Thibodeau, but it's called icing. It's forcing them to go one way, and people really didn't know how to deal with it. And then they were like, oh, we just switched the pick, switched the side the screen is on, and then you're at the disadvantage. Then you have a big man going one-on-one with your point guard, and that's not advantageous for the defense. And that, so there's different ways to see it, but. Congratulations. Patrick Mahomes will never hear this, but congratulations. I'm always happy when players get the money. I don't root for the billionaire owners at all. But I do want to touch on a few news stories that I heard. I saw this. Listen. This is video game news. I'm going to pepper in some video game news here. I'm at the beginning of the show. Google has successfully eliminated the game console. This was from Scott Rubin. And I forget where. I think it was from Forbes. Wrote this. And I think they're just trying to get people to invest in Google. But they're talking about Google Stadia replacing gaming consoles. And obviously, he's never played Google Stadia. And as a video game fan, I guess I would say, customer, there's no way that Google Stadia, as far as now and with internet speeds, how internet speeds are now and how video games are played, you can't, this is not a reliable, I get when I try to stream, because what it is, if you don't know what Google Stadia is, you don't need a game console. You just need a PC, and then they play the game on their end, like on their servers, and then stream the game like Netflix to you. And for a game that you need like real precise control movement that is instantaneous. You can't get that way. There's just too much lag. It takes too much time to get to you. Unless your internet speed is beyond, maybe it's like the Google Wi-Fi. The internet speeds that normal people don't have access to. People don't have access to the type of internet I have. And I only have 100 megabits a second. Like a very small portion of the population of the planet has that. And then, what is it? And it's expensive. It's $50. They keep wanting to go up. They just changed my bill last month. They double charged me. They charged me $100, which, whatever. I had to fix it. I was on the phone for an hour and a half for that reason. And then this month they charged me $79.99 for 150 megabits per second, which I didn't even agree to. They're like, yeah, you have the preferred. I called today. You have the preferred 150 megabytes per second package at $79.99. No, I don't. $50, 100 megabytes. That's all I need. Well, what do you use it for? You don't need to know what I use it for. I'm happy giving you $50 for 100 megabytes a second. That's all I need. It plays my Xbox fine. It plays YouTube videos fine. Does everything fine. I don't need anything else. Well, if you're going to play games and stream games, we recommend... No. You don't play games. I know you. Brenda, whatever your name is. You don't play video games. Don't tell me what I need. Now, if I'm playing games and like streaming to Twitch while watching YouTube videos, while my girlfriend's watching Disney Plus, yes, I'm going to need all that. But that doesn't happen in the house. And I know that. I, on a very low level, understand how all of this works. So you just pay what I agreed to before. Well, that was a promotion that only... No. You didn't sell it as a promotion. You didn't say in a year the price is going to change. You said, hey, do you want... I called up Cox and was like, hey, what are your prices right now? So it's like $50 for a year. $50, whatever. I was going to say $50 for a year. It said $50, 100 megabytes a second. That's what I want. Yes. And there's no canceling. They're not going to charge me more on anyone. No. $50 as long as you're there or whatever, as long as you're a customer, this is what the deal is. $50 right now, you get in. The price doesn't change magically. That doesn't make any sense. I get grandfathered in at a price right now. And I pay that. And now if I leave and come back, that's a different story. Completely different story. And I had AT&T. A random lady thought we were getting AT&T internet installed in this apartment. And she came up to me and was like, yeah, we're here to install the internet. And I was like, we already got internet, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, through AT&T? I was like, no, Cox at $50 a month. For 100 megabits. And then she was like, oh, we got a better deal for you. And I was like, well, I'm kind of happy, whatever. Now I'm not so happy. Should have talked to her more. Been getting, I don't know. How can you just how can you change someone's plan and charge them more legally? They say they record the calls for training purposes. Do they record the calls for legal purposes? Because I have a gripe, and it's over $30. It's about 30. What? Yeah, $80, $30. My math. See how long it took me to add 10, 20, 30. Yep, $30. I just don't get. Yeah. We get it, Chase. You don't get it. You don't get it. You're dumb, and you don't get it. But haven't yet delivered it. It's just upsetting. Well, Google Stadia here hasn't worked. I haven't tried it, so I can't review it. But there's just some games. I played Madden on Project xCloud, and that's Xbox's version of this whole thing, streaming thing, and that worked fine. It was single player. There was a little bit of lag, but not too much. A little bit of delay in the button presses. But then I played Sea of Thieves, which is an online game. And it was, oh God, it was terrible. So they got work to do. And then this is a fun little headline news. I'm just going to read the headline. It's not going to get too much into the detail because these are like sad, upsetting stories. At least they are to me. Protesters set up guillotine outside Jeff Bezos' DC home. How can you get away? They're not protesters at this point. If they set up a device that is meant to kill people, and they made it smaller, so like it was like a little thing that decapitates like a what could fit in there? I don't know, like a watermelon. Well, then if it was a watermelon, it's like whatever small vegetable, a medium-sized person could have maybe fit their head in there. But it's just weird that these protesters, quote unquote, are allowed to basically give death threats to people and then still be called peaceful protesters. These peaceful protesters are burning down buildings. You can't. It was like mob put guillotine in front of Jeff Bezos' house. Angry mob. And then this is also video game news. Student arrested for allegedly making bomb threats to Konami. And Konami is a video game company. 16-year-old suspect has been arrested by Tokyo police for allegedly making bomb threat to Konami's Japanese headquarters. The high school suspect made multiple threats to bomb Konami's headquarters between June 16th and 18th. The threats were made in the users review section for the PES mobile game in an online app store. PES is a soccer game, and not only is he not playing the console version, he's playing the mobile game version. According to reports, the suspect allegedly wrote, "I'm going to blow up Konami's headquarters. I'm going to kill the people who work at Konami." In their reviews. How dumb. See, this isn't just American kids. These are just kids in general who are retarded. They're dumb. Beyond stupid. Following his arrest, the suspect admitted to making the bomb threats, claiming he was pissed, in quotes, at the company over a bug in the PES mobile game. Konami is a Japanese video game company best known for franchises like Metal Gear Solid, Pro Evolution Soccer, that's PES, and Silent Hill. Well, Silent Hill not for a long time, okay? There's also a blah, 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 blah. There's also a fun DLC pack coming out for Overcooked 2 called Suns Out, Buns Out. Very excited about. Video game news. Cyberpunk 2077's wall running mechanic removed due to design reasons. They don't give you any reasons. They just removed wall running. And apparently it was a newsworthy event. Let's see here. 2K21 releases. The next gen release is going to be $10 more. Now, I've heard multiple arguments. I might change my stance on this because of inflation. $60 like 13 years ago was worth $70 now. So this basically comes out to even. So, I mean, the game companies should make money, but with a game that's so heavily riddled with microtransactions, I don't think this is the game that should have announced as the $10 more thing. The $10 more plan. But yeah, 2K21 will cost $69.99 on next gen. And then $59.99 on current gen. But the reason they gave it is like they rebuilt it from the ground up and blah, blah, blah. When they rebuild things from the ground up, I remember when it went from Xbox to Xbox 360, you had the new games had none of the features that the old game had. The old game had way more features, like franchise mode was taken out or the watered down and all this other crap. Is that what's going to happen now? Or is there going to be more? Or is it because like the architecture behind the scenes are similar, like AMD processors or whatever the hell it is? Does it translate more? So why couldn't, like before you couldn't do that, but now you can? So what is really going on here? Or do you just want an extra $10 because of inflation? And that's fine. Just say games cost more to make, and due to inflation, This is where it comes out. But then you also have $99 versions of the game. You have VC that you can buy in the game. You have you can buy card packs. And so you have all these different modes in the game that used to be free. All of this stuff, all of the gear, the items, you have to spend in-game currency that you can earn in the game or you can purchase. So like that's also a good way. But I know they have certain things that you can't buy. But they put this price on it, and it's really weird that this is the first game to announce it. If it was a game that everybody loved, then I think it would be more acceptable. And then if you buy the $99, say there's a Kobe Bryant edition, that is $99, and it's a special edition. Blah 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 blah. You get that. Then you upgrade for free, quote unquote. It's not free because you're paying extra for that. You get the next gen version, but you only get the standard edition next gen version, and there's going to be a Kobe Bryant next gen version as well. So who the hell knows? I'm all over the place today. All over the place. And in a rare case of brain-destroying what is that word? Amoeba? I can't read. I can't read at all. There's some brain-destroying disease been confirmed in Florida as a rare case of brain-destroying amoeba? I've never read that word out loud. Let me see. How do you say that word? Google, help me. Okay, let's see. Why is it not loading? This is great. I love when Google doesn't work because they're just talking shit about Stadia. And they're like, oh yeah? I'm like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Can I get... It's not letting me press the button. Types of... No, that's not what I said. Pronunciation. Can I do that, please? Okay. Amoeba. Jesus. Yeah, amoeba. I don't know. I've never said that word out loud before. I've heard it, but I've never seen it typed out. Brain-destroying amoeba has been confirmed in Florida. That's scary as hell. Another news. Let's move on, Chase, since you just showed everyone how stupid you are. Everyone? You mean the 5 people that listen to this? Yes, those people. This is per... ABC News, I believe. NBC, ABC. It's the little peacock thing. That's all I know about it. Grand Canyon hiker falls to her death to take photos. Just gonna let that sit with you. There was news that some lady got dragged, killed by an alligator, taking a selfie with an alligator. Now people are falling off cliffs to get the perfect Instagram photo. Did you ever hear about your grandmother or your ancestors dying to take photos? They died because they were hunting. They died because they were starving and looking for food and going out into the wilderness so they can feed their family. That's how they died. We're dying for Instagram likes. I don't want to overreact, but I'm losing faith. Losing faith in. Now, look, hiker slips and falls to her death. She went up a trail she wasn't supposed to go up. No problem. Also, it's a female. She's maybe a little bit not as athletic as most people. Maybe she didn't do any sports. Maybe she was stereotyped, by her terrible father saying, little girls, you're a princess, you do cheerleading, and not the athletic kind, not the tumbling and all that stuff. You just stand there, rah, 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 and you cheer on the men. And then she grows up not knowing how to move her body, not knowing depth perception, looking at a steep hill, maybe some loose gravel, and she slips and falls. Then that's the man's fault, per usual. But I don't think that happened here. I just think she was. Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine if there's a heaven, and you get to heaven, and then you have to say they don't know how you died. You get there, or an afterlife, whatever you believe in. You get there, and you have to report what happened. How'd you get here? Could you imagine the embarrassment? Could you lie? Could you try to lie? Well, no. There was a bowl. There was a bowl, and there was a small child in the pen, and somehow it crawled in there, and then I saw it. Nobody else did. I was the only one there, so I ran in, grabbed and I intercepted the bull, and the bull's horn went right through my heart, like Steve Irwin and the Stingray, right through my heart. Perfect, gored me. The 3-year-old was saved, and I died. That's how I died, being a hero. But could you imagine? Well, yeah, I was trying to get this really sick selfie, and I fell off. You fell off what? Like a staircase? No, I fell off the Grand Canyon. And then I wonder, how far did she fall? Like, was it like an epic 200-foot drop, 300-foot drop? Or was it like 12 feet to like the little ledge below, and then she just died there? It's like, oh, well, you didn't really fall off you fell off a little part. And then your death is even demoralized. I don't know if that's the right term, but I think it is. Oh, Charlie. This is Charlie Sheen news. This is good. I'm all over the place today. Charlie Sheen celebrates 1 year of not smoking cigarettes. Says he wishes he never started. That's the thing you never wish you started? Smoking. So if Charlie Sheen, who's done all of the drugs, all of the women, allegedly all the STDs, he regrets smoking the most. So if you're smoking right now, you might want to rethink. I was thinking double think. God, I'm dumb. You might want to rethink your life choices. See, Astros, this is I thought this was funny. Astros, if there's a woman out there, the Astros are a baseball team. And so the Astros, Carlos Correa asks wife to stay out of salons until season's end. And the article goes, when I talk to my wife, she knows, he said Sunday. No getting your nails done, no getting your hair done right now. So we're going to be home. We're going to focus on the baseball season. And once everything is done, then you can get your nails done and do everything else. We know what it takes to make the season possible. And we're doing this. And what we're doing is we come to work out. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's weird how it's wrote, or how he said it. What we're doing is we come to work out and we go back to our houses. I think that's the key. I think if we keep it simple as simple as get your work in and go home, get some rest. I think we'll be able to be fine and be able to carry on with the season. So they're making, this multimillionaire is talking about the sacrifices he has to make millions of dollars. And I, for one, I feel him and his wife's pain and sadness, because the thing that they say they're the first thing they bring up, the most important is the most important thing. Not being able to see family relatives and all that stuff. The thing they bring up, the thing he had to tell his wife not to do, is get your hair done and nail salon. What does that tell you about just the overall gender of women? It's a little scary. The whole world needs everyone to stay home. And he had to clarify to his wife, we can't do the things we normally do. Okay, so I won't go out 7 days a week. I'll go out like 5. No. You can't even go to your hair salon. What? What is this? Communist China? Russia? What is this? How is that the first thing you bring up and think about? People aren't eating. They're out of jobs. And you're bringing up, well, we have to sacrifice. That's not a... You have to read the room. As a baseball player, as a professional athlete, you have a responsibility. And I've never been one. So I'm going to talk about what the responsibility is. You have a responsibility, everyone, to get your work in and not get in trouble. Not do things that could endanger yourself or others. That's just human beings in general. But let's applaud this lady who isn't going to get her nails done, who's going to go on YouTube and watch a do-it-yourself video and have her nails done anyway. Have her hair, probably a hairstylist come into her home and do her hair. Oh my God. She's not going to instead of driving down to the hair salon and seeing Becca and Tiffany and Jennifer, she's just going to call up the hair. Hey, come, I need a bleaching and 3 hair dyes. I need color. I need my split ends chopped off because they're dying because I put so many chemicals in my hair. Just a really weird thing to like. I think of Joe Rogan. He signed that huge Spotify deal, and he never brought it up once on his podcast. Why? Because he knows, he's like, I don't feel comfortable talking about making money, especially right now while the world is hurting. He is so self-aware, and he could be doing this for selfish reasons so he doesn't get attacked. I don't know the guy. But just that statement, I'm not talking about money because I know so many people are hurting right now during a pandemic and people are out of work. And what they don't want to hear is how a multi-millionaire is making money or doing anything. They don't want to see that, or we don't want to see that. And I'm not even hurting for money. But could you imagine just being on your last dollar, probably moving back in with roommates you don't like or parents you really don't like, and everything that you were working for is just crushed, and then you read about a baseball player talking about how his wife is sacrificing not going to the hair salon and nail salon. You're like, okay, I'm never going to root for you ever again. Your team and your sport is never getting another dollar of my money. And then Matthew McConaughey had this funny video. He's like, what can we do? We can be proper. We can go through there. We can do this. We can do that as a company. We have to grow. We can't get what did he say? He had just a funny 4th of July video, shirtless, of course. And with like a bandana on, like he's 25 years old, just getting out of college. They don't get out of college at 25. What do you? If you go along, yes you do. Yes you do. It's like 24, I think, 24, 25. But he just rambled, and it was really good. But like, how do we proceed? How do we get by? How do we defeat this? How do we wear the damn mask? It always comes back to wear the damn mask. And I'm like, that's not the issue. The issue is getting thousands of people together for a party and not wearing a mask. The 6 feet is the issue, not the mask. Wear a mask when you go into private businesses, when you're going to be around people you don't know, just in general. But the main thing, don't have a beach party with thousands of people, hundreds of people. I think that's the most important thing. And I found another, headline I found interesting. Virginia state officials order large American flag taken down amid 4th of July protest fears. We're concerned that it could become a target, so we told the contractor to remove it. So in America, we have to take down our own flag because of its civilians might want to destroy it. Virginia state officials, put guards around the flag. Put guards around it. Armed guards around the flag. Now, you can't do all of them, I understand. But if it's like the main one, like, build the biggest flag you can. Put speakers, put music around it. Everything. I don't care if you put on loop like America is the best. America is the best. And then you just play that for hours and hours and hours. Do that. Don't bring it down. Pay somebody. Give an American citizen some money to guard that. Like, hey, police, we're not really going to defund you, but could you get some guys over here? We'll pay them overtime. Guard this American flag. That is more important than taking it down. Xbox Game Pass losing 6 games very soon, including some critically acclaimed titles. Undertale, a little 2D game. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain going. Dead Rising 4. Blazing Chrome. Never really heard of Blazing Chrome. Time Spinner. Is it Times Pinner or Time Spinner? It's one of the two. Little 2D game. Heard that one was good. Unavowed. A demon has possessed you and used your body to tear a swath of bloodshed through New York. You are now free, but life as you knew it is over. Your path forward is joining the Unavowed, an ancient society dedicated to stopping evil, no matter what the cost. So those are the 5 games that are going to get. I don't think I played Dead Rising 4. I played the first 2 Dead Risings. They were good, but then it just started getting too cartoony. And you're killing as many zombies as possible. You shouldn't have. I don't know. The thing I like about Resident Evil, playing the first one, my girlfriend still hasn't beat it yet, which I'm upset about because we've been playing Sea of Thieves nonstop. Every day she comes home, she wants to play Sea of Thieves. Every single day. And I'm happy. I'm happy to have a girlfriend that wants to play Sea of Thieves all the time. But what about my video game? I still haven't beat Star Wars Fallen Order. And I've been trying to play that game for 2 weeks now. Haven't had time. You have all the time in the world, Chase. I know. I'm lazy. Another headline I saw. Amy Schumer won't apologize for her new figure. Hey, Amy. Nobody asked you to apologize. We don't care if you're 1,000 pounds, and that's a real weight. We don't care. Are you funny? Are your assessments of what's going on in the world entertaining and funny? That's all we care about. And in general, fat people are more funny. Chris Farley, one of the funniest people ever. Huge. Huge. You can be fat and funny. Now, you're not going to be a sex symbol, but I don't think you want to be that. Anyway. But if you're funny, it doesn't matter. That's why most comedians are weird looking. I think that's changing, but all the comedians in the past have been kind of weird looking. You can't be good looking because it's the quote unquote distracting, but then there's arguments against that. So, yeah, the NBA 2K news I already talked about. Blah, blah, blah. Found this interesting. Xbox reportedly interested in acquiring WB Interactive. But then all the games that WB can make, they don't have exclusive deals on that. So they don't own those IPs. They're renting them. But it says EA is looking into it. Activision and Take-Two is also trying to buy it. This is just kind of news that's not really news. Of course, they're interested in buying, but for what price? It doesn't make business sense. So who knows? And if it does, hopefully they get it, and hopefully they don't make it exclusive. You don't want, as a video game company, say if I was by Microsoft, I wouldn't want my games to be exclusive because you can sell more games. But if your games are exclusive, you sell more consoles if your games are that good. But their exclusives haven't been that good. So until your exclusive games that are only on Xbox and now PC are so good, they're so undeniable that people buy that system just for that reason. When I played Uncharted, there was no other game I played that's like that. That deserves to be an exclusive. The Last of Us, the first one. I haven't played 2. I don't own a PlayStation. I played these years after they actually came out. But I haven't experienced a game like that. There are these games. Horizon Zero Dawn, I heard, is just like that. There are these God of War. There are these exceptional experiences that will draw people to that console. Spider-Man, I heard, is unbelievable. But there's nothing on there's no Xbox exclusive that it's like, yeah, dude, this game's awesome. Halo's not there anymore. Gears of War isn't there anymore. I can't even name. They tried to make Tomb Raider exclusive or a timed exclusive because they wanted an Uncharted-like game. That's not like Uncharted. It's an archaeologist or whatever, but it's not the same game. The technology and what they do in the game, just the ropes. I was so shocked about how there's a part in Uncharted 4 where there's a Jeep. It's the what did I think about the Jurassic Park car with the tow cable on the front, and Dennis Nedry, I can't believe I thought of that, his whole name instantly, got his Jeep stuck, and then he went out in the rain, tried to tie it around the tree. That you do that in the game, but that whole rope is real in the game. It's not like you press a button and then the guy does it. Like, you have to go to the front of the car, grab the hook, pull the rope out, and then the rope actually moves how in semi like real life how you would do it. So you would tie the rope around the tree and then go back to the rope and clip it in. It was unbelievable. Just that small little thing in the game makes it so much better. And then I heard in The Last of Us 2, there's another rope mechanic, which is awesome because it's made by the same developer, that he said there was a rope that it went to like your forehead and it got stuck in like your eyes, and then it went down to like your mouth and then like to your neck. So it moved real precise. And that's the thing that got me excited about a video game. Rope mechanics. But it's just simple little things like that you don't see in other games that make games outstanding. And some people don't even notice it, but even if it's like on a subconscious level, it makes people love those games. But Xbox games with gold for July 2020, you got WRC 8 FIA World Rally Championship, Dunk Lords, and then on Xbox 360 you got Saints Row 2, which I played, which is good, and Juju, never played. So I think that World Rally Championship is, I'm going to guess a motorcycle racing game. And Dunk Lords, I have no idea. Never really heard about that. Patrick Mahomes. Oh, yeah. And this is another little interesting headline. Halle Berry apologizes after being hit with backlash for considering transgender acting role. So you can't even consider acting. It's called acting. It's what it is. You pretend. It's pretend. So you can't pretend to be something else anymore, because that's taking away a role from a transgender person. So if you're making a movie about a transgender person and you want someone to watch it, you want as many people to watch it as possible so you can make a difference, right? And also make money. Quit lying. You want to make money. Why wouldn't you have Halle Berry in it? People are going to want to see that. You want as many eyeballs on your product as possible so you can make a change, make a movement, normalize it, whatever your goal is. And then that community is trashing one of the best actresses. But even then, like actresses isn't even the right word. It's like actor. You're an actor. Actor is gender free. Just real weird. And then another news story I read. I didn't even save it. Colin Kaepernick is signed a deal with Disney to help them diversify their portfolio, so to speak, the black and brown people in powerful roles and all that stuff. He turned, which is smart, his political I thought this was about police brutality, not about anything else. This is about police brutality. This is why I'm kneeling, blah, 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 even though he had socks calling all cops pigs, all that stuff. Oh, you're not peacefully doing that. That's insulting an entire group of people who overall protect us. But I like how he's a martyr and he gave up his it's just so, I understand, like, the message is good, but the way people idolize him, I guess it's with everybody. It's like with the founding fathers. They idolize the founding fathers, and I just compared Colin Kaepernick to the founding fathers, or what he's doing. But like, if you're a great person and you're trying to do something good, or what you see as good, should you get criticized for your past mistakes or your hypocrisy? It's like LeBron James speaking out about an injustice to somebody somewhere is an injustice to everybody everywhere. And then when he got confronted with communist China, he was quiet. He actually shut up and dribbled. I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed to stand up for people's rights. Hong Kong wants to be free. And they're not free anymore. But as long as LeBron James gets his billions of dollars from there, he's fine with it. So it's like, hey. And then you read, like, the founding fathers, all men are created equal. Well, not really. Because even back then, all white people weren't created equal. You could only vote back then if you owned so much like property and land. You had to own a specific amount of property because they thought poor people couldn't vote, like, I can't even think of the right word, which is the reason that what they're talking about. They don't have an informative opinion. It's like, what does a farmer know about policies? But you need to know what that farmer, and the other thing is going to think about things that you're not going to think about. Higher up society people care about. So then eventually we let everybody vote. Well, all white people. Anyway, all white males. And then we let white women vote. And then we let minorities vote. So like, but to criticize these people from the past and present over, it's hard because I want to criticize Colin Kaepernick for the hypocrisy that he's talking about. He's what is it? He's profiting off of his movement. And he's like, it's not about me, it's a movement, it's about police brutality. And you he sacrificed his NFL career. Look at him. He was a backup quarterback. He's making more money now than he did in the NFL. So what is he sacrificing? Nothing. He got a promotion. So that part I don't get. And it's the same kind of bullshit about the founding fathers. You can't, like, people see these statues and they talk about, oh, we got to get rid of them because it talks about all the good things George Washington did or Thomas Jefferson. And we should have statues saying all the good things they do. And then you go read about them and you're like, oh, he wasn't. It's like Martin Luther King. He cheated on his wife a whole bunch. He's one of the biggest, most popular people in America. You think he didn't go to the clubs and just smash everything he could? Are you kidding me? But that shouldn't. He's like, oh yeah, he cheated on his wife a bunch, so he's not a moral person. So let's not listen to what he was saying was true, and everyone should have listened to him. Obviously, it doesn't diminish what you're doing. So I have that kind of like argument with myself. It's like when how they prop up George Floyd and they say like, oh, they're idolizing him, they're putting him on t-shirts and all that, and you look into his criminal record and he held a gun to a pregnant woman's belly and forced her into her house and then robbed her. It's like, what? This is the guy you have on t-shirts? But should that and like a bunch of other like possessions for drugs diminish that action? So you can't get rid of that police brutality, that racism, all of that stuff, that apparently they even knew each other. So that personal vendetta, I guess, you can't erase all of that because the guy did, and he paid his fee, went to jail, and he got out. So you can't, it's the same thing. Like I want to I want to kind of demonize George Floyd, but I can't based on my own beliefs. Like just because you do a few wrong things, that doesn't negate the thing you did right or the positive change that this could happen. positive change that whatever happened to you, like if you get hit by a bus and then it comes out you're an asshole, people should like, oh man, the guy got hit by a bus. That's sad. It's not like, well, actually he stole money from this person. He did this, he did that. He's an asshole. Don't worry about it. Like, that's not how you should look at it. It's still a human life that should not have ended at that time. Okay, contract disputes. Oh, yeah. I want to... Oh, we're 50 minutes in. I've been yammering on too long. Jorge Masvidal is fighting at UFC 251. Just want to say I'm very excited about it. I'm happy he got close to his money that he wanted. I think UFC fighters are highly, highly underpaid for the amount of money that they're getting paid. And then there was, but good for him. I'm happy. Paige Van Zandt, she's a UFC fighter who isn't a good, she's like a middle tier, like upper, lower, middle, upper tier. So she wins some and then she loses some. And then she was talking about, yeah, I love the UFC, but I could have made as much money or more working a normal job. And then I thought, well, if you would have won your fights, you would have made more winning all of your fights. So if you were better, but if you're mediocre, you're going to make the same amount because you're losing. And then so you're getting beat up. So you have to take more time off, which means less fights in my head. And you're not getting paid as much. So if you're a mediocre fighter, they're not going to pay you an astronomical amount of money. But because of UFC, people know who you are. You're a hot female fighter, and you're making more money, she said, off her Instagram posts than she is fighting. They're about the same. So because of that platform, you can't really put a price on it. The platform that UFC gave you to get popular, to get fans, is a number you can't quantify. Being a hot female, like, celebrity influencer. So she's just noticing that the dollar amount that UFC is paying her, but all of the other dollars that are coming into her because she's a hot UFC fighter. If she was on the other promotions, not as many people would notice her because UFC has a higher fan base. So it's the promotion that should get most of the money at first, but then once you reach like superstar status and you're carrying your own weight, so to speak, then I think they should pay them more. Obviously. There's another funny thing. In England, men hang sign in tourist destination telling tourists to turn around and fuck off. That's hilarious. The region recently relaxed lockdown measures, which apparently saw a flood of tourists entering the area. Locals reportedly took to social media to voice their concerns, however, as they worried that holidaymakers and second homeowners will spread the coronavirus. Cornwall, a popular tourist destination in England, relies heavily on visitors spending money for their local economy. Some residents, however, apparently don't feel the same way, as they reportedly hung a sign on one of the region's main bridges, rudely telling tourists to leave. Why are people right now, I guess maybe because it's so cheap to travel, because nobody's traveling, maybe the people with money are visiting all of these places, but it's just, I never understood the concept of traveling all the way across the world to see something that isn't that amazing. Like, save your money, invest it for your, like, not all of it, like, invest it for your future in case an emergency happens, like a pandemic. Save it. People are like, what am I thinking? What am I thinking right now? I don't get why. Oh, I want to go to Ireland. Why are you going to go to Ireland? To see the fairy pools. What? They're just pools of water. What are you talking? It's like the movie The Hobbit. No, the Hobbit, they edit everything. It's not going to be just like that. They edit a whole bunch of stuff to make it look cool. You go there, it's not that cool. And I'm talking from someone who's never been there. But every place you go to that you think is going to be cool, it's not as cool as that. It's always the places you don't expect to go. You just wind up somewhere. Your car breaks down, you wind up in a town, and then You have a fun experience somewhere that you didn't even think because your expectations are low. Stop spending thousands of dollars to go to a place all the way across the world. Now, if you want to go there for a few months and like take in the culture, but people go there for like a week and then come back. That's not doing anything. I'm more cultured because I visited the England castles. I'm more cultured now. How about you put on like a virtual VR, spend that money, spend $1,000 to get a virtual VR headset. You can go anywhere you want on Google Maps. You can go stand by a pyramid. You can go play Assassin's Creed. The only good thing about Assassin's Creed Origins is how they rebuilt all of Egypt. And you can go through there as a tourist. That's the best part of that game because the game is not really a game anymore. I'm so sad that they ruined Assassin's Creed for me. And I'm very upset that I bought the next one, Odyssey. And I might play that just because I bought it. I don't want my money to go to waste. But then I'm wasting time playing it. But to see if they even improved it at all. Hopefully they did. An RPG looter beater or whatever they turned Assassin's Creed into. We gotta have loot. We gotta have loot. Otherwise people want to play the game. Make the game better. Make the climbing better. Make better animations, more fluid animations, and people will come. People will come to the game. But stop going around the world spending thousands of dollars for things that, it's a culture, it's a different culture. It's human beings. It's the same thing. You can look it up, read articles. If you want to go like 30 minutes, make a 30-minute radius around where you live and visit all the cool things in there, all the things that interest you in there. Then expand it to an hour. Same radius. You have more stuff to go visit. And then also you're helping the local economy. Our economy, not somebody else's. Do that. You live in a shitty area? Keep expanding the radius. But make it close. There's so many cool hotel experiences that you can go to. It's just amazing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think I'm going to end it on that. I think I'm going to end it on that high note. I'm going to look over these headlines and see if I missed anything. I don't believe I did. Yeah, the Matthew McConaughey thing. I wish I... Amoeba. Yeah, I don't think... Next gen revealed more exclusive. I think I got everything. Well, I hope that this more sporadic podcast was entertaining. If it wasn't, I'll know because my viewers will go from 10 down to 5. So I hope everyone had a good holiday weekend, good 4th of July. America is awesome, despite what a very small percentage on the internet is saying. It shouldn't stay the same. We should not make it great again. We should just keep improving. Improve America. I think. That's my big political statement. Improve it. And what did Matthew McConaughey say? We have to go through growing pains. We have to go through growing pains to grow. Oh, just if it didn't seem like he was so full of himself, it's a fine line to walk. But I hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, I don't care. You have a good one. I do care. I'm sorry.
We got this shit knocking low.